Listen up, because Clint Eastwood's car collection is about to make your day. While most know him as Dirty Harry or the man with no name, few realize this Hollywood legend has been secretly building one of the most diverse car collections in America. From a $25 rust bucket that launched his career to a $3 million Ferrari that almost got him killed, these aren't just cars, they're chapters in an American icon's life story. Today, we're uncovering 12 of the most insane vehicles from Eastwood's private collection, including one so rare, even Jay Leno couldn't buy. And wait until you see number 3. It's the only one left in existence. Number 12, 1949 Chevrolet panel truck. Before the fame, before the Oscars, there was this humble workhorse. In 1951, a young Clint Eastwood scraped together $25, about $260 in today's money, to buy this Chevy panel truck. The previous owner thought he was crazy, considering this truck had already lunged over 100,000 miles delivering flowers in Oakland, California. But what most people don't know is that this truck literally became Eastwood's home during his early Hollywood days. The 49 Chevy came equipped with a 216 cubic inch Thriftmaster straight six, producing a modest 90 horsepower. While that might sound underwhelming today, it was perfectly adequate for post-war America when gas cost just 19 cents a gallon. The 3-speed manual transmission was notoriously finicky. Eastwood once joked that learning to drive it prepared him better for acting than any drama school could. What makes this truck truly special isn't its specifications, it's the modifications Eastwood made to survive. He installed a makeshift bed in the cargo area, using old movie theater curtains as insulation. The original bench seat still bears the coffee stains from countless nights studying scripts under the dome light. Today, after a $65,000 restoration, the truck sits in his garage as a reminder of number 11. 1955 Cadillac Series 62 convertible. Now here's where the story gets interesting. Fresh off his first major role in Revenge of the Creature, Eastwood splurged on this pink Cadillac. The Series 62 wasn't just any luxury car, it was America's statement of post-war prosperity. Powered by Cadillac's legendary 331 cubic inch V8, it produced 250 horsepower through a hydromatic transmission that was smoother than anything Europe could offer at the time. What most people don't realize is that this particular Cadillac played a crucial role in Eastwood's personal life. He drove it to his first date with Maggie Johnson, whom he'd later marry. The car's massive trunk, large enough to hold 4 full-size spare tires, came in handy during their cross-country honeymoon. Years later, this same model would inspire his 1989 film, Pink Cadillac, though Eastwood insists his was a better shade of pink. The restoration story is equally fascinating. While most Series 62s were crushed during the 1970s gas crisis, Eastwood preserved his, spending over $100,000 to maintain its original specifications. Even the Autotronic Eye automatic headlight dimming system, a $53 option in 1955, still works perfectly today.
Number 10. 1974 Ferrari 365 GT4 Berlinetta Boxer. When Paul Newman convinced Eastwood to get into racing, he didn't just buy any Ferrari, he bought what many consider the last true Ferrari before modern electronics took over. The 365 GT4 BB represented Ferrari's first mid-engine road car, a direct response to Lamborghini's growing threat. Its flat 12 engine, producing 380 horsepower, was essentially half of Ferrari's Formula One engine at the time. But here's where Eastwood's version gets really interesting. Unsatisfied with the standard roof, he commissioned Sergio Scaglietti himself, yes, the same Scaglietti who designed many classic Ferraris, to convert it into a Spider. The modification cost more than the car itself, but resulted in one of only 3 365 GT4 BB Spiders in existence. The other 2, one's in the Ferrari Museum, and the other was tragically destroyed in a fire. The car's original Rosso Corsa paint still gleams, though Eastwood admits he almost resprayed it silver for a scene in Firefox. Thankfully, Ferrari president Enzo Ferrari personally called to talk him out of it. Today, this unique Ferrari is valued at over $2.5 million, though Eastwood has turned down offers twice that amount. Number 9. 1992 GMC Typhoon. Don't let its humble GMC badge fool you. The Typhoon was America's secret weapon in the performance world, capable of embarrassing Ferraris at stoplights. When Eastwood appeared on Jimmy Fallon's show at age 85, he proudly declared he still drives this beast, and we can see why. Under its unassuming exterior lurks a 4.3-liter turbocharged V6 producing 280 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque. In 1992, that was enough to rocket this SUV from 0 to 60 in just 5.3 seconds, faster than a contemporary Ferrari 348. GMC only built 4,697 units, making it rarer than a Ferrari F40. Eastwood's Typhoon has a particularly interesting history. He bought it new after using one as a chase vehicle while scouting locations for Unforgiven. The film's crew nicknamed it the Brute because it could handle the rough terrain better than their purpose-built off-road vehicles. His version features the rare factory green color, one of only 132 painted in this shade. The car remains completely stock, down to its original Garrett T3 turbocharger. Eastwood once said, "It's like having a secret superpower. Nobody expects a GMC to move like this." He still uses it regularly, often surprising younger actors on movie sets who mistake it for just another old SUV. Number 8. 1966 Morris Mini Countryman Cooper S. If the Typhoon is Eastwood's secret weapon, this Mini is his guilty pleasure. One of only 6 Cooper S Travelers ever produced, this car shares a fascinating connection with Steve McQueen, who owned 2 of them. The British racing green paint isn't just for show, it's the exact shade used on British racing cars in the 1960s. Under its diminutive hood sits a 1275cc engine producing 78 horsepower. While that might sound modest, remember the car weighs just 1,500 pounds. The real magic lies in its handling. With wheels pushed to the corners and a low center of gravity, it corners like it's on rails. Eastwood discovered this firsthand during the filming of Where Eagles Dare when he used it to navigate narrow European mountain roads. The car's restoration story reads like a Hollywood script. Eastwood found it deteriorating in a barn in Northern California, missing its original engine. Through a series of coincidences that would seem far-fetched in a movie, he tracked down the original engine in Australia. It had been shipped there for a racing project that never materialized.
Number 7. 1960 Jaguar XK150 Roadster. The XK150 wasn't just another pretty British sports car in Eastwood's collection. It became an unexpected star in Play Misty for Me, his directorial debut. But here's the twist. The car wasn't supposed to be in the movie at all. The original script called for a Mercedes, but when that car broke down on the first day of shooting, Eastwood brought in his personal XK150. Powered by a 3.8-liter straight-six engine, producing 265 horsepower, this Jaguar represented the pinnacle of British engineering in its day. The triple SU carburetors required constant tuning, which Eastwood learned to do himself after a frustrated mechanic threw in the towel. The four-wheel disc brakes were revolutionary for 1960, though they nearly failed during a harrowing cliff slide scene in Big Sarah. Speaking of that scene, here's a story that's never been told. During filming, the brake lines developed a leak, nearly sending Clint and the car into the Pacific. Instead of scrapping the scene, he used the genuine fear in his expression for the final cut. After that near-death experience, most would have sold the car, not Clint. He bought it from the studio and spent 2 years restoring it. The restoration included some unique touches. The original wool carpeting was replaced with Wilton wool from the same British mill that supplied Jaguar in 1960. The leather comes from the same Scottish supplier, Bridge of Ware, that furnished the original interior. Even the toolkit is period correct, down to the Lucas-branded wrench. Number 6. 1967 Shelby GT500. When Carroll Shelby heard Clint Eastwood wanted one of his cars, he didn't just sell him a GT500, he built him something special. This isn't your standard Shelby, if there is such a thing. Under that custom-ordered Abco blue paint lies what Carroll called the meanest GT500 we ever built. The standard 428 cubic inch V8 wasn't enough for Eastwood. Shelby's team bored and stroked it to 447 cubic inches, added larger ports, a more aggressive cam, and topped it with dual Holley 4-barrel carburetors. The result? 455 horsepower at a time when 355 was considered outrageous. The special order close ratio 4-speed transmission came directly from Ford's racing program.
But here's the really interesting part. The car almost never made it to Eastwood. During delivery, the truck carrying it was hijacked outside of Las Vegas. The thieves, realizing whose car they'd stolen, abandoned it at a gas station. The attendant, not knowing its value, used it as a tow vehicle for 3 days before Shelby's people finally tracked it down. The modifications didn't stop with the engine. The suspension features heavy-duty components from Shelby's GT350R race program. The rear end houses a Detroit locker differential with 3.89 gears, the same setup used in Shelby's personal cars. Even the steering has a faster ratio than standard GT500s, a modification Shelby only offered to professional drivers. Today, the car shows just 21,000 original miles. Eastwood still drives it regularly, saying it's too special to sit in a museum. He's turned down numerous offers, including one from the Shelby American Museum. The car's value? Well, experts estimate it at over $2 million, but as Eastwood says, some things aren't for sale. Number 5. 1971 Honda CB750. Most people don't know that Eastwood is as passionate about motorcycles as he is cars. His 1971 Honda CB750 represents a pivotal moment in motorcycle history. It's the bike that changed everything. Nicknamed the Ferrari of motorcycles, this CB750 was revolutionary when new, featuring the world's first production 4-cylinder motorcycle engine. But this isn't just any CB750. During the filming of Dirty Harry, Eastwood used this bike to scout San Francisco locations, often racing director Don Siegel through the city's notorious hills. The bike's 67 horsepower might seem modest today, but in 1971, it was enough to earn it the title Superbike. The 4x4 exhaust system produces a symphony that Eastwood claims is better than any Hollywood soundtrack. What makes this particular CB750 special is its originality. While most were modified or crashed, Eastwood preserved his in factory condition, right down to the original candy gold paint. The only modification, a special bracket he fabricated to hold his script while parked between scenes. That handmade piece of movie history is still attached to the bike today. The restoration story is particularly fascinating. When Honda executives learned Eastwood still had an original CB750, they offered to restore it at their museum in Japan. Instead, Clint spent 3 years doing it himself, sourcing parts from as far away as Thailand. Every scratch has a story, he says, and I remember them all.
Number 4. 1958 Pontiac Bonneville Convertible. In 1975, Eastwood received a tip about a rare car sitting in a barn near Carmel. What he found was automotive gold, one of only 630 fuel-injected Bonneville convertibles that were ever built. This wasn't just any 50s land yacht, it was Pontiac's answer to the Chrysler 300C and Chevrolet's fuel-injected Corvette. The 370 cubic inch V8 was revolutionary for its time, featuring Rochester fuel injection, the same system used on the Corvette. Producing 300 horsepower, it could hit 60 miles per hour in 7.6 seconds. Impressive for a car weighing over 2 tons. The price? One new, a staggering $5,782, more than a Cadillac Eldorado Baritz. Eastwood's restoration of this became legendary in collector circles. He insisted on keeping the original Rochester injection system when most owners converted to carburetors. The tri-tone paint scheme Kenya Ivory, Redwood, Copper, and Stellar Black took 9 months to perfect. Even the rare transportable radio still works, though finding replacement vacuum tubes proved challenging. The car makes annual appearances at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, where Eastwood drives it himself, much to the organizers' surprise. They always want to trailer it in, he says, but cars like this were built to be driven. In 2018, it won Best in Class, though Eastwood skipped the award ceremony to take his grandkids for ice cream in the car instead. Number 3. 1936 Mercedes-Benz 540K Special Roadster. Here's the crown jewel that even Jay Leno couldn't acquire. Of the 26 Special Roadsters built, this is the only one retaining its original engine, chassis, and body. During World War II, Hitler ordered most 540Ks destroyed or converted for military use, making this car's survival nothing short of a miracle. The story of how Eastwood acquired it reads like a Hollywood script. In 1984, he received a mysterious letter from a German collector claiming to have Hermann Göring's former 540K hidden in a barn since 1945. Most dismissed it as a hoax, but Eastwood's research confirmed the car's authenticity through original Mercedes-Benz documentation. The price? He's never revealed it, but experts estimate he paid over $12 million. The technical specifications are staggering for a pre-war car. Its supercharged straight-8 engine produces 180 horsepower. Engaging the supercharger required fully depressing the accelerator, creating what Mercedes called der Kompressor screen. The car's 17-foot length is balanced by surprisingly nimble handling thanks to its advanced independent suspension system. Every detail tells a story. The leather comes from a specific breed of cattle raised in the German Alps. The wood trim uses 17 different types of rare hardwood. Even the paint contains actual silver powder, a Mercedes-Benz tradition reserved for their most prestigious models. During restoration, Eastwood insisted on using period-correct materials, even tracking down the original German manufacturer of the wool headliner. Number 2. 1972 Ford Gran Torino Sport. While most know this car from the 2008 film Gran Torino, few realize Eastwood owned this exact vehicle decades before making the movie. He bought it new in 1972 after seeing it at the Los Angeles Auto Show. Unlike the movie's dark green version, his is bright red with a black vinyl roof, an $87 option that only 3,165 buyers selected. Under the hood sits Ford's mighty 429 Cobra Jet V8, producing 370 horsepower and enough torque to smoke the F60 15 Goodyear Polyglass tires at will. The car came with every possible option, including the rare Ram Air induction system and heavy-duty suspension package. The total price in 1972? $4,638, nearly double the cost of a basic Torino. When Warner Brothers suggested using a replica for the film, Gran Torino Eastwood refused. "You can't fake authenticity," he argued. The studio worried about damaging a valuable collector's car, but Clint insisted on doing his own driving scenes. Eagle-eyed viewers can spot the car's unique features: a small dent in the rear quarter panel from a 1974 fender bender, and a St. Christopher medal hanging from the mirror, gifts from his father. The car remains unrestored, wearing its original paint and interior. "Every scratch tells a story," Eastwood says. "This car has been with me longer than any of my marriages." He still drives it regularly, often surprising fans at car shows by arriving unannounced in this muscle car icon. And number 1, 1964 Ferrari 250 GT Lusso, the ultimate prize in Eastwood's collection. This Lusso is the last one ever built. While Steve McQueen and Eric Clapton own Lussos, Eastwood's has a unique history. Originally ordered by Roberto Rossellini, the car was redirected to Eastwood after Rossellini's financial troubles prevented delivery. The numbers tell an incredible investment story. Eastwood paid $155,000 in 1970, equivalent to about $100,000 today. Its current value over $3.5 million. Though Ferrari experts suggest this particular car, being the last built, could fetch double at auction. Not that Eastwood would ever sell it. The 3.0-liter Colombo V12 engine produces 240 horsepower, modest by today's standards, but perfectly matched to the car's 2,250-pound weight. The engine note is so distinctive that Ferrari recorded it for their sound archive. Each of the 3 Weber carburetors was hand-tuned by legendary Ferrari mechanic Julio Borsari. What makes this Lusso truly special is how often Eastwood drives it. While most collectors keep their multi-million-dollar Ferraris in climate-controlled garages, Clint puts about 1,000 miles on his. "Cars are like movies," he says. "They're meant to be experienced, not just looked at." He even taught his children to drive manual transmission in this car, though he admits that decision took years off my life. From a humble Chevy truck to one of the rarest Ferraris ever built, Clint Eastwood's collection tells more than just an automotive story. It's the story of American success, Hollywood history, and one man's passion for mechanical excellence. Each car represents a chapter in his life, from struggling actor to Hollywood legend. But this is just the beginning of our celebrity car collection series. Click here to see our breakdown of Steve McQueen's even more insane collection, including the actual Mustang from Bullitt. And don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories about Hollywood's most remarkable machines. As Dirty Harry would say, you've got to ask yourself one question: do I feel lucky enough to miss our next video?
Well, do you, punk?